First this noontime, though, we're monitoring developments at the Hernandez murder trial. After a lengthy trial for the former New England Patriots player, the attorneys have begun their closing arguments this morning. Hernandez has been facing the jury for nearly 10 weeks now on charges related to the murder of Odin Lloyd back in June of 2013. And spectators and sports fans have been watching every moment of it. We want to go to Fall River now, and Eyewitness News reporter Brian Yacono, he's live with the very latest now in Hernandez on trial.
Danielle, good afternoon to you. Right now, the prosecution is in its final moments of closing arguments in the courthouse you see behind me. The defense already did its full 90 minutes of closing arguments as allocated by the judge. So let's take a moment now to walk you through what the defense talked about this morning, outlining saying several times in closing arguments that the jury was presented with theories, saying there are gaping holes in this case. The defense tried to debunk the experts who took the stand, including the Glock expert who testified earlier that Hernandez was holding a gun in surveillance video. And finally, the defense argued that police early on made Hernandez their suspect, and everything in their investigation worked to prove that. Now, as for the prosecution, they took a very different approach this morning, walking through a very specific timeline of the events the weekend Odin Lloyd was killed, pointing out a mood change by Hernandez at a nightclub, text message exchanges, and then getting into the location where Odin Lloyd was killed.
If there was evidence of any reason that Aaron had to murder Odin Lloyd, don't you think you would have heard about it in 9 weeks? But you didn't hear it. You didn't hear it because it doesn't exist. Does the prosecution expect you to fill in that gaping hole in its case with guesswork, with speculation, by using your imagination? Is that proof beyond a reasonable doubt?
We know this defendant's out of the car. Gets out of the car and he plants his footprint right alongside where those tire tracks are, right alongside where the car is. And guess where his foot is oriented? To the rear. And where did the shell casings then begin? Along the back side of the car, or around the back, and right at the left side of Odin Lloyd's feet.
The prosecution at this hour is just now finishing up its closing arguments, and the defense still says there is nothing to prove who pulled the trigger. The Southeast Massachusetts Mobile Newsroom, Brian Yacono, Eyewitness News.